Wow. You hear that, Pudgy? That was your owner, your master. She sung that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another special Broadway tribute. For those of you who don't remember, I did a tribute video a long time ago for Smash in honor of its closing. And because I loved doing it so much, I thought I'd come back and do a sequel. For this tribute, this is also a tribute to another one of my favorite musical comedies of the season, Boop, the Betty Boop musical. When I first heard about Betty Boop being made into a musical, I was skeptical, a little nervous, because I thought, how can you turn a 30s Fleischer Studios cartoon into a musical comedy hit? Over the years, I was waiting to see what would happen after I first heard about it being developed a few years back. Then I saw who they got for the cast and crew and score and everything. The moment they got Tony winner Jerry Mitchell aboard as the choreographer and director, I knew the show was in good hands. One thing I liked about Jerry Mitchell's amazing work on Broadway is that he can take the amazing glitz and glamour he sees and he puts it into musical comedy extravaganza in any show he does. From the Full Monty to Hairspray, also doing Legally Blonde, but perhaps my favorite shows done by him is the ones that have always the red glitter in their logo, aka Kinky Boots. Then he did the same thing with Pretty Woman, even though that wasn't that much glitz in the red logo. But Boop surpassed all his works he's done for Broadway. I shall begin. As soon as Jerry Mitchell joined the project, I was very excited to see what would be coming of this musical comedy hit. I was very nervous, to be honest. I wasn't sure if it was going to be pulled off. But then I saw the announcing of the casting of who would play the iconic star of themselves, Betty Boop. They chose newcomer. He found in newcomer Jasmine Amy Rogers the perfect choice to play the iconic cartoon flapper from the 30s. As soon as I heard the Chicago reviews, I heard amazing things about it, and I was hoping one day it would come to Broadway. And sure enough, the announcement was made, and the show came to Broadway in March of 2025. It played at the Broadhurst. The funny thing about that show is this. I was there that day, but unfortunately I was at the other opening preview, which was Smash. Well, Boop also had their opening preview that day. As the weeks passed into my leading of seeing the show, I also loved the casting they included in it. Jerry Mitchell knew what he had to do. He recruited a lot of stars that I've heard about, but never originated on Broadway that much. Ainsley Melhem, I've heard first through the magic of his Broadway debut in Aladdin after playing the role in the Australian production of that show. He played a character called Dwayne. I was very impressed with his character the moment I saw the show March 21st. Because I saw how talented he was with the trumpet and everything. He showed off his jazz style and all that. I was very proud of his role and everything and how it developed throughout the entire show itself. Along the lines of Ainsley Melhem, Jerry also recruited Eric Bergen, who has not been seen on Broadway since Waitress, when he made his Broadway debut in that. Then, of course, you've seen him in the Jersey Boys 2024 Clint Eastwood film. But for him to come back to Broadway to play a corrupted politician by the name of Raymond Dearest, I was like, yes, this might work. Because if I know Eric Bergen's acting, which is incredible, is that the fact he's able to show off more of his tough guy talk as he's done in the Jersey Boys movie. For the role of Trisha, it was a no-brainer. I knew he was going to get someone from America's Got Talent. Angelica Hale was incredible as Trisha. She starts off as this obsessed Betty Boop fan until throughout the show she develops a talent and an amazing skill for art and design. Her character really impressed me. The same with the other Boop character, Steven DeRosa as Grampy, and of course the new character written for the musical, Valentina, Grampy's lover, played by the legendary Faith Prince. Along them, the ensemble was incredible. They were like each ensemble, regarding if they were in the cartoon world or the color world of New York, it was just incredible. To me, Boop was like a Barbie type story. For those who've seen the Oscar-winning film Barbie, yes, Barbie did win an Oscar, but that was only for like the original song. Boop was like that. The only difference is, regarding through an existential crisis, she wanted to find out who she wanted to be, basically, besides being a cartoon character and playing the same heroine every time she was in a cartoon short, like, you know, playing a cowboy, playing a pilot, all that. So her Grampy creates a time portal, a machine that takes her back in time, actually takes her to another dimension, and she ends up in the wonderful, colorful world of New York City. There she ends up at Comic-Con, where she first encounters Dwayne. And of course, the first thing that obviously comes to Boop's mind is the color she sees. Because all her life, it was all black and white in the cartoon world. And with New York, now she can experience the wonders of color and everything. In a way, the story was incredible. Bob Martin wrote an incredible book. I've already known his writing style because I've seen his prom many times, and I know he won the Tony for The Drowsy Chaperone and everything. David Foster's music, along with the lyricist Susan Birkenhead, was quite impressive. The first thing that obviously came to my mind in that whole album, the one song I wanted to listen to out of all the shows, was A Little Versatility. That number in the opening of Act 1 was just sublime. I loved it. The acting, like in that scene, the choreography was incredible. It gave me some like it hot vibes and all that stuff. In a way, the Little Versatility number is so catchy. It keeps coming to me every time I play it every day on my device, my smart device. But every other song does stand out. The one with Portrait of Betty, very good song. Take It to the Next Level. I obviously knew that was going to happen technically, because if Raymond Dears was going to be a villain, like in the cartoon series where the villain is always a guy in a mustache, then I always thought that the villain would be a tough guy like, you know, who tries to get Betty Boop, basically. Probably my favorite personal scene besides Little Versatility was the fact that she hit Raymond Dears on the head with a lamp. I laughed so hard. Like, seriously, that is gold age comedy right there, man. I mean, how do you stop a weasel from taking, like, you know, all that? Well, there are ways, but a lamp is hilarious in the comedy world. And if you are acting basically in a comedy and you want to do something more slapstick related, then I recommend a lamp. Just be very careful of the lamp. Like, before you use a lamp, make sure you take out the bulb, because you don't want the bulb to crack in someone's face and all that and everything. Anyway, to continue. When the Tony nominations came out, in reality, I had a feeling that the Tony nominations weren't going to be that huge. I mean, I thought it would be. I was happy that Jasmine Amy Rogers got nominated. I mean, technically, when she made her Broadway debut, she was just absolutely phenomenal. And not only that, she's like an inspiration to me, because what she is to me, an inspiration to me, is that she came from a Mean Girls tour to star as an iconic cartoon character for Broadway. And for the past few months, I've been hearing amazing reviews about her through every fan base post, and I've been hearing great things about her and everything. In fact, actually, it's kind of interesting. When Tony noms were announced and I was trying to choose a Best Actress nominations, I almost came close to picking one until I finally settled with Jasmine Amy Rogers. Because as soon as Boop got nominated and wasn't performing on the Tony Awards, I was not very happy because of a few reasons. I totally understand the rules of the American Theatre Wing and Broadway League, that they would allow, shows that only got nominated for Best Musical and Best Revival. I get that I understand that's a basic rule, and I know they have to be strict on production budget and everything to make sure there's enough running time to do a whole, a whole Tony Awards ceremony. But I still think it would be fair if you at least gave all shows who didn't get nominated for Best Musical Revival a chance to perform. I mean, to be honest, that should be the new rule, sadly. If a show gets nominated for a Tony, then all you need to do is just highlight what it got nominated for in the Tony performance. Like, for Betty Boop, they were gonna do According to Rumor, whereas Betty, the opening Act 2 number where, everyone's like on stage saying, "Where is Betty?" All that. I thought it would be cool to see it live on a Tony performance. And then, of course, they would do the iconic showstopper at the end of Act 2, more of the climax of Act 2, something to shout about, which is actually what I'm going to get into right now. So, something to shout about. That was a pretty interesting Broadway number for me, because I thought to myself, this was like going to be a very powerhouse number. And sure enough, people have been giving it standing ovations almost every night whenever Betty Boop is on stage. Like, whenever the show is performing, there's always like more than one standing ovation for like that one iconic scene in Act 2. In a way, that highlight just clinched Jasmine Amy Rogers for me to earn a Tony. I wanted her to win because of that performance. Unfortunately, the Tony results didn't give me what I wanted, but that's okay. You know what? As long as at least she got recognized and she was completely a big inspiration to all Broadway, that's what really matters, really, to be honest. I mean, believe me, I want shows to win Tonys, I really do. But in retrospect, doesn't matter if you win a Tony or not, you're all winners in my book. Of course, the closing I kind of didn't think would happen, but once I saw it, I said, oh dear, I hope people go out to see it. They need to go see Boop. And yes, that we go see Boop, that started, I think, a trend a few months ago with, of course, B-Way Show, who says, on with the show, and all that. Or see you at the show. Yeah, no. B-Way Show's amazing. Anyway, in a way, I highly recommend all see Betty Boop. And I want you guys to listen to me closely about this so you guys understand this. You have to understand. Betty Boop the musical is not just based on a cartoon character or based on an iconic franchise. This is the story about a woman who wants to find something beyond her dimension, something she's been dreaming about but has yet to seek it. But then she goes out there and tries to find it. Of course, in the end, it does happen. But I can't tell you what she was seeking, to be honest. You have to see the show to understand it. It is hurting to see musical comedies close, especially for me, because I'm a musical comedy lover. I mean, I have seen many of my musical comedies that I've enjoyed so much go off into the sunset after seeing them so many times. The Prom, Some Like It Hot, Smash, yeah. I've seen many musical comedies go and all that, and it is very heartbreaking. But the real reward is as long as you were there to support it, see the show, and like get the cast on and all the gear, you are good. I actually want to get into something also. On the day of the Tony Awards, I did something I wanted to do. Not only did I want to support Smash, I wanted to support Boop. So, what I did was this. This is Pudgy. Well, technically a plush of Pudgy. Normally during my 10 years going to Broadway, I would never purchase a Broadway plushie. Not that I don't want to get one, it's just, I'm not a huge collector of them. But when they made a Pudgy plush, I was waiting constant months to get one. I was like trying to get one, but then I stopped, I resisted, until finally when Tony Awards came around, I just went in, boop, and I purchased it. So Pudgy basically is here to say hi. I know it's a plushie, I get it, it's not a real dog. But sometimes in my imagination, I wish he were real. I mean, it was funny because when I got Pudgy, I felt like I was doing a good thing for the Boop show because I wanted to show my support for musical comedies that day. And of course, because Betty Boop didn't have a sitter. Yeah. Anyway, so in the long run, you guys have till July 13th to see Boop the Musical. See it as many times as you want. Download the cast album, stream it. Also, if any of you are curious of when the physical CD comes out, it's going to come out August 15th. Originally, they say it would come out June 6th, but unfortunately, I guess there was like a back order issue, or maybe they wanted to wait because they were updating, I think, the final design or something like that. But I highly recommend all see Betty Boop the Musical. I'm going to now give 3 reasons why. I've already mentioned them, but I will tell you them. Step 1. Reason number 1. Jasmine Amy Rogers is amazing. She is a rising star, and it won't be long before she gets her first Tony Award win. And of course, she's going to get huge acclaim for her next role. In my mind, I feel like in a vision that she would be great for the upcoming La La Land musical, if it does come to Broadway soon. Right now it's in development, but you never know. Who knows? If La La Land does come to Broadway, then I am so going to have, and I so hope Jasmine Amy Rogers joins the cast. As for the role of Sebastian, I guess that's up to mostly everyone, but I have a brilliant name in mind. Joshua Barrage. He's in the ensemble of Boop, and I would love to see him also as in La La Land with Jasmine Amy Rogers, because I see a very good connection. Or you could put Ainsley Melham in that role too. Whatever happens with La La Land in the future, I just hope they recruit a lot of people from Boop, because this cast is so talented. They're dedicated and they put a lot of effort into it. It's a very important show. But I am going to miss it. I am very grateful I saw it twice. I'm glad I went the first time back in March, met everyone except Faith Prince, which is okay. I'd say, sure, that's all right. And then I'm glad I went a second time. Preferably the one thing I wanted to do, to be honest, when I went to Boop, I wanted to meet Jerry Mitchell, because I love his choreography. It's incredible. But eventually that day will come. In the meantime, I want to keep supporting Broadway and the musical comedy genre. It's my job. I was given this gift, and I am using it the right way, because I want to help everyone out. I want everyone to make their Broadway dreams come true. And whatever choices you make in life of who you want to be, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Be who you want to be. Nobody controls your destiny but yourself. I mean, all you have to do is just follow your heart, believe what you want, and don't let anyone take you down like that. As the great Elphaba once said, unlimited. It's like a serious thing, follow your dream. And remember, you guys can always talk to me if you have any Broadway questions. I know I work a lot and it's never easy, but I assure you that whenever I go to Broadway, you're always going to see a smiling guy at 5:18 or 6 o'clock in the morning, walking around the marquees of Broadway on Schubert Alley, always taking photos of the certain Broadway marquees on the exact same day he sees a show. And you'll, of course, see him at the Museum Broadway. He's a very sweet guy once you get to know the Broadway Titan. I mean, I met him once. He's very sweet. I mean, trust me. Once you meet him, you're going to end up, wanting to know more about him. He's a very sweet guy, though. Trust me. I've met the guy. He looks exactly like me, but he wears a different Broadway shirt mostly. But yeah. Anyway, in conclusion, go see Boop. Do lottery, do rush, buy your ticket online. Remember, you have till July 13th to see this amazing musical. Oh, I almost forgot the third reason why you should see Boop. I already told you the first two with Jerry Mitchell and Jasmine Amy Rogers. The third reason is Greg Barnes' costume design. I obviously love Greg Barnes' costume design because I've seen many of his shows, how he's done it. He's done Follies, he's done Drowsy Chaperone, and of course, one of my personal favorites, Some Like It Hot. I'm very glad he did a costume design for Boop. Knowing him, he knew what he was doing because he also did Aladdin. He did so much. I highly recommend you see the show also for his costume design, because his costume design is just incredible. Anyway, this concludes the Boop tribute. I just want to say thank you, Boop the Musical, for coming to Broadway. And to all the stars who are involved, Jasmine Amy Rogers, Joshua Barrage, Ansley Melham, Eric Bergen, Faith Prince, Stephen DeRosa, Angelica Hale, David Foster, Susan Birkenhead, Jerry Mitchell, Greg Barnes. Thank you all for bringing another musical comedy to Broadway. I wish you all luck in the future on your next Broadway adventure, and whatever you bring to Broadway, you'll expect me in the audience, whether it's in the back of mezzanine or whether it's an orchestra. The Broadway Titan will be there to support it. Anyway, everyone, go see Boop. I have one word to say about it. One word. Boop the Musical. It's booptastic. Thank you all for watching my Boop tribute. And just remember to follow your dreams and remember everything I said. And you have a boop boop a doop day. Thank you.